In the anime My Dress Up Darling, Gojo doesn't get Marin Kitagawa because he's the most popular, outgoing social person in high school. The reason why he got Marin Kitagawa to fall for him is because he did something most guys are kind of afraid to do. He stayed true to himself, and that's what really matters.
Watching romance anime, like My Dress Up Darling. I was deep in a romance anime phase, and I honestly still kind of am. Anytime you want to watch a romance anime, I promise, just come over to my house and we can watch together, okay? Any anime such as Rascal Snartry and Buddy Girl Senpai, Quintessential Quintuplets, Horimiya, Fruits Basket, play them anytime, I'll bid you with you. Those are some of my favorite romance animes of all time. And My Dress Up Darling is now officially on that list too. Since I watched it, I watched it a while ago, but you still get the point. I always like shows where the relationships actually feel kind of real. And part of the reason why is because when I'm watching romance anime, oftentimes I place myself in the shoes of the protagonist. I feel like that's something you can relate to too. A lot of you probably do the same. I place myself in the shoes of Gojo, Sakuta, etc. And I try to figure out how they're able to get a girl like Mai Sakurajima, or in this case, Marin Kitagawa, to like them. Because I know at the end of the day, it's like a fictional show. Of course, the author, it's a romance anime. The author has to make them eventually connect in order to sell the anime or the show or like the manga to us. But sometimes I want to put myself in their shoes and kind of like get a deeper analysis on the character. That's kind of the point of this video and what I'm going to be doing henceforth. When you actually look at the relationship, it's actually kind of interesting because on paper, the relationship between Gojo and Marin shouldn't make sense, and it doesn't make sense. Gojo is a shy, awkward, not very social person with low self-confidence. He's not the type of character you'd expect to end up with a girl as popular as Marin Kitagawa. Meanwhile, Marin is this outgoing, attractive, popular, and confident girl.
So, you might be asking, how did this happen?
To answer that question, you have to understand Maureen as a person. She's not just an attractive character. She's someone who's genuinely passionate about what she likes. And the stuff that she does like is cosplay, anime, fictional video game characters, and she's fully invested into it. And it's important because it ties directly into how she sees and interacts with other people. In episode 1, there's this random guy who tries to come up to her and talk to her while she's at the beauty salon, and he makes a surface level comment about her liking anime. And even though he was an attractive guy, she shuts him down immediately.
Once again, the question is why? Why did she shut him down immediately? What did he do wrong?
The answer to this question is because he didn't actually understand her. He just saw something on her bag that he thought he could use to impress her.
Hey, at the end of the day, that's something we all do in real life. Heck, even I do it too. Sometimes we all pretend we're interested in something just to get someone's attention. But that comes off as fake. And Maureen can clearly sense and tell when someone's being fake.
Now, compare that to Gojo. Gojo didn't try to impress her at all. If anything, he tries to avoid her because he sees himself as the unpopular kid. And he doesn't want to bring her popularity down or affect her popularity at the school. And that's basically because of his own insecurities. Ever since he was a kid, he's been into Hina dolls, and it's objectively seen as like a female hobby or a female career. But people made him feel weird for it, especially his own family. So he felt he needed to build up walls to protect himself. And he kept to himself. He didn't think people would accept him. But that necessarily wasn't the case, was it? Naturally, in episode 1, when Mario finds out Gojo's hobby because she's in the sewing room and Gojo's there too, it unexpectedly makes him worry because he feels like he'd be rejected. His career, his life in high school is over. He's already seen as an unpopular kid, at least in his eyes, and now he's going to be seen as the unpopular kid with the weird hobby. And clearly, that wasn't something Gojo wanted. So when he sees Mari in this room, he expects a flat-out rejection.
So when Maureen finds out Gojo's hobby, he accepts he expects a rejection. He's clearly petrified.
But instead, Morgan unexpectedly accepts him instantly and doesn't even question the behavior.
That moment is really, really important for Gojo's character arc because it's the first time he realizes that this hobby can be more than what it is. It can be a hobby for everybody. The first time a crack appears in Gojo's like walls, and it's the start of his journey throughout the show, to where come season two, he feels a lot more confident in himself and in his love for Hina dolls.
But here's the thing, he didn't change himself to get that reaction. He was just being himself, and that's the key thing.
And think about it. This is the reason why Mari was drawn to him. Because at the end of the day, Mari's constantly surrounded by people all her life. Really attractive people, like that guy we saw in the first episode, who are clearly trying to impress her. She's probably getting hit on multiple times a day. Right? Multiple times a day by really, really attractive, conventionally really attractive guys. But Gojo doesn't do any of that. He doesn't put on a persona. He doesn't try to act cool, be fake. He's genuine, and that's what makes him stand out.
Though, to be fair, Maureen herself does play a role here too. She also helps break down Gojo's walls. And when you think about Maureen too, she has her own persona. She leans into the typical Gyaru image, the way people would typically expect a popular girl like her to act in high school. But that doesn't fully represent who she is.
But with Gojo, she doesn't have to do that. She can just be herself.
And that's where their connection really forms. It's not based on attraction at first, it's based on comfort, and it's based on being understood.
Another important factor to consider is Gojo's intentions. Gojo wasn't helping Maureen because he wanted to get in bed with her or he was expecting something in return. He was helping her out because he could see how passionate she was in cosplay, and he genuinely saw himself in her. He's like equally as passionate about Hina dolls, so he wanted to help her out and help her live her dreams and her passion in cosplay. And because he was so self-sacrificial and he sacrificed his own time and effort without expecting anything in return, and the reason why he did it because he's just a genuinely nice person. This is the reason why Maureen started to fall for him.
And that connection between Gojo and Maureen, it grows naturally. There's no forcing it and there's no pretending. And that's the reason why it works, and the reason why they grow such a genuine bond throughout the show.
A lot of guys think you have to be really attractive, you have to say the right things, you have to impress the girl in order to get a girl like Marin Kitagawa. But that's not necessarily true. While there are, and maybe girls out there, that you have to change yourself to in order for them to like you and generally be attracted to you, there are a lot of girls out there that just want you to be yourself. Just naturally be yourself. Don't change anything about you. And at the end of the day, why would you want to change just to get a really attractive girl? Because trust me, when you change yourself, you're not going to be happy. Be happy with who you are. Be more confident in yourself. And try to be like Gojo. And maybe one day we can all get a girl like Marin Kitagawa. Okay, guys? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, comment down below what you thought about my analysis about the dynamic and the relationship in Gojo and Marin Kitagawa. And I hope to see you guys in the next one.